Hello and welcome to your daily word.
Hello, this is Pastor Kara, and today we will be continuing our daily word series on the I Ams. Today's I Am is a little different from the others. It is still a declaratory statement Jesus makes about himself. However, it is not a comparison like we saw with the bread, the light, the gate, the shepherd, and the vine. In this, Jesus is making a statement about himself to some friends. See, Jesus had a very good friend named Lazarus. And Lazarus has two sisters, Mary and Martha. While Jesus was with his disciples, word came to them that Lazarus was sick and that Jesus should come. Before Jesus could arrive, Lazarus passed away. Jesus is met by Lazarus' sister, Martha. And then what unfolds is a declaratory statement followed by an incredible miracle. So we're going to pick up the story in John chapter 11, starting at verse 17. When Jesus arrived at Bethany, he was told that Lazarus had already been in the grave for 4 days. Bethany was only a few miles down the road from Jerusalem, and many of the people had come to console Martha and Mary in their loss. When Martha got word that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary stayed in the house. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus told her, "Your brother will rise again." "Yes," Martha said, "he will rise when everyone else rises at the last day." Jesus told her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone who believes in me will live even after dying. Everyone who lives in me and believes in me will never, ever die. Do you believe this, Martha?" "Yes, Lord," she told him. "I have always believed you are the Messiah, the Son of God, the one who has come into the world from God." After this, Jesus called forth Lazarus from the grave. And Lazarus, even though he was dead for 4 days, came forth and rose from the dead. His grave clothes was even still on him, but here he was alive. What a powerful example of the almighty power of Jesus Christ. To declare that he was the resurrection and the life was so bold, but then to raise someone from the dead was yet another confirmation in who he claimed to be. This wasn't someone who had just died either, and people could argue that maybe he was resting or hadn't really died. No, Lazarus was already dead and buried for 4 days by the time that Jesus had arrived. All hope had seemed lost because of how could anyone come back from that? This is, however, no matter for the resurrection and the life. Jesus would himself die and rise again, proving once and for all that death is not the final word for Christ, for he has overcome death. For us who are his sheep, who are the branches, he is connected with, we are connected to the one who is life, and death is under submission to him. Just like he said to Martha, everyone who believes in him will live even after dying. Isn't it incredible to know that we don't have to fear death because it is under submission to Christ? Isaiah 25:7-8 says, "He will remove the cloud of gloom, the shadow of death that hangs over the earth. He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away all tears. He will remove forever the insult and mockery against his land and people. The Lord has spoken. He will swallow up death forever." In 1 Corinthians 15, 20 to 22, Paul writes this, "But in fact, Christ has been raised from the dead. He is the first of a great harvest of all who have died." So you see, just as death came into the world through a man, now the resurrection from the dead has begun through another man. Just as everyone dies because we all belong to Adam, everyone who belongs to Christ will be given new life. So what does this mean to us? How does this affect our everyday life? Well, if you are a believer and a follower of Jesus Christ, you have a reassurance that the one whom you follow, the one whom you serve, has the power over death and the grave, and you have no need to fear it. You follow the one who is life and conquered death. That even after you die, you will not die forever. You will have everlasting life. What a hope. What a reassurance. My encouragement to you is to take that into your life. Don't live a life that is full of doom and gloom, like the people had to live before, not knowing what death brought to them. No, you have an assurance in your life. So you should be living a life full of hope and full of joy, because you don't fear what's going to happen in the future.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Come back tomorrow for the next Daily Word. God bless.